Omo is the audacity for me. Even after all the truth don burst out, secrets don come out everywhere, everybody can now see, even the blind can see clearly that all these our politicians dey just dey embezzle the money, dey use am dey do things and things for them and their family, dey just dey chop. Still dey dey come dey defend wetin no dey. Oh my people, fear who no fear dis politicians wey we get for dis our country called Nigeria. My people, make una come hear matter wey dey ground o. Even after Efcc, DSS and people at the top don use their eyes see am clearly say no be lie na im dey lie for dis secret wey surface, say everything e dey clear, everybody can see it, dey still dey turn am upside down. My people, make una come make we watch dis one together, guys.
ESFCDA directors, SSS minister, heads of security agencies, are there women? Are there traditional rulers? The representative of Lubricant Construction Company, my dear brothers and sisters, and of course my dear brother, the former skipper of the Super Eagles, Joseph Yobo, the director of ceremonies, and their team, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Who is called a good citizen? Not a good man. A good citizen. Who is called a good citizen? So many people who just care for themselves and people to refer them, oh, they gave us money. Good citizens are those who will think well about the welfare of the country and where they come from. I do not know about this road any day, any time. It is the responsibility of good citizens to respond to government or call the attention of government that, look, government, you may not be aware of the situation of things in social areas. It is not to go to social media to begin to say, oh, they say they have done this, have done that, why have they not done this? No government, even if you stay 20 years in office, you cannot finish every project. But it's the responsibility of good citizens to call the attention of government that this area you may not have looked at. And every responsible government will, of course, be happy with such a citizen. That is what we require. This is what we want. And the government will immediately respond to such attention. I was in my office when one of my friends, luckily is seated here today, he called my attention. He said, Minister, I was driving one of these roads. I don't think you are aware. It's terribly bad. I said, which road is that? He said, Ken, I don't know what they call them. I said, okay. Thank you. I called the Executive Secretary of FCD. Where is this Ken Udeze or Ken Udeden? I don't know what they call them. Go and check and see the situation of the road or the roads there. And he came back to me. He said, sir, the road is bad. And I said, okay, look for any contractor that has the capacity to move in and see that we solve that problem. In the next 1 week, my friend my friend called me. He said, thank you. They what they call a responsive government. Thank you that I called you and you immediately responded. He does not have an office there. He does not live there. But because he has to use this road, and he had to call my attention. He's here, Damian Dodo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. That is what good citizens, responsible citizens should do. Not by going to social media and begin to castigate government just for political purposes. Damian Dodo, I want to say, on behalf of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, we want to thank you. On behalf of Mr. President, we want to thank you for calling our attention. Ordinarily, I would have changed the name of this street to your name, but I don't know who can use her before they will bring ethnicity down. But let me assure you, FCT will also honor you for being a good citizen. I'm very happy for that. Thank you very much. It is not some people because of politics. For example, I hear one of the social media presidential candidates went to one of the local authority area schools. I was saying the government has abandoned public schools. In particular, his name is Mr. Peter Obi. It is not everything you must play politics. But let me say this. Peter Obi, you were governor for 8 years in Anambra State. If you have finished all the jobs in 8 years, nobody will be talking about developing Anambra by now. 8 years. Instead of developing Anambra, you took the money and put in the bank you have interest, Fidelity Bank. And why did you have problems with your successor? Anambra State had problems. The money was there to develop Anambra State. You only prefer profit and put the money for the development of Anambra State in the bank you have the largest share. So our profit will be coming and Anambra will be suffering. Mr. Peter Obi, we just came into office 2 years ago. We have not even stayed 4 years, but you stayed 8 good years. Compare 2 years in office of what we have done in FCT and compare 8 years in office in Anambra. Can you really say you love this country? Can you really say you love Anambra? Certainly not. If I were you, why not be quiet? Enough is enough. You cannot be president of Nigeria only when you go to one IDP. Oh, I want to go for a birthday party. I want to do my birthday party in IDP camp. Who is interested in all those things? Doing your birthday party in IDP camp does not make you to feel that you love Nigeria or you want to do anything for Nigeria. When you were governor, why didn't you do a birthday party in IDP camps? It's now you want to be president every day. I'm going to do my birthday with the next privilege. Who will you deceive? Enough is enough. So, but again, we will show you in next week what we have been able to do in our public schools. 2 years. And you are talking about 8 years. Everything must not be propaganda. If you feel so much, as I'm even the minister of FCT, I cannot claim I know everywhere in Abuja. It's not possible. So if you're a responsible citizen, if you're a good citizen, it's not just to go to social media to think that they will love you. You continue to contest as president in social media, but not as president of Nigeria. You run as president under a party, you cannot manage the party. Ordinary party. You cannot manage the party. To hold the party together, you cannot. It is Nigeria of 200-something million people that you want to manage. You know a good dancer. You know a good dancer from the first step. If from the first step you know a good dancer. Party of how many people? Crisis. You can't hold them. They want to manage complex nation like Nigeria. It's not available for people like you. Let me thank the contractor, Lubri Construction, for making us happy. This contract was awarded 6 months ago. In fact, before the paper for award was given, they've gone far. Again, that is the confidence the company has for the administration. I want to commend you and assure you that we continue to partner with you, all those who have shown that they want to part of the development of FCT. Be assured that we continue to partner with you. And let me thank the Executive Secretary, let me thank the FCDA through the Executive Secretary for their commitment. Like I've said, it is not easy working with me. I tell people it is not easy. It's not like let's go and have a glass of wine. No. You must work and show that you want to work. So anybody who succeeds, anybody who has shown that he has capacity working with me, then you know that the person can go anywhere and succeed, because it is not easy. I will not allow you to sleep. I will make sure that you do what you're supposed to do. So FCDA through the ES, we want to thank you, we want to commend you. Tomorrow we will be at the body of benches to do an alternative road, which Mr. President approved based on the request of the body of benches. And on Monday, we'll be in Nigerian Law School to provide 300 bed space for the female students and 300 bed space for the male students. All this by the intervention of Mr. President. And so we must be happy that we have a president, the moment a request is being made to him, because he wouldn't have done that. They lack accommodation facilities until you put that request. And that's what we're supposed to do. All of us here who think that the day we came here for inspection, I remember vividly that one young boy who came in there, he said, "God, help us. See our own street there. See our own street there." Can they believe in a government that yes, things are happening? Unlike now, nobody would do that. Nobody would even bother. And that is what we owe you. And that's what the Renewed Hope agenda is all about. Bringing back the lost hope we have had. So I thank you for coming out. And the residents here, I hear that Senator Mahabunga told me that one of my greatest critics from Rivers owns a school here. So the person wrote me a letter thanking me. At least the school fees now may go high, but it shouldn't go high. The school fees should even reduce for doing this road. So that is what it's supposed to be. All the residents here, businesses here, will thrive. And that is the essence of governance, making things easy for the citizens. On that note, my dear brothers and sisters, let me invite you to join us to the glory of God to commission these roads that we have done for the interest of our people. Thank you and God bless you.
Everyone, they say two down, one more to go. I saw this tweet that, someone tweeted it out and then it was so funny. And I looked at it, just seeing all these pictures of Wike where he was kneeling, bending and kneeling for everyone. And then, today you saw where he had with Jonathan and the fallout that they had with Jonathan. You've seen the Peter Obi own, and then now the current person that he's doing is Tinubu. In the case of Jonathan, especially with the wife, I mean, she was very out there, very vocal in support of him, with all of that fight that was going on between Amechi and Jonathan's wife. I mean, it was a whole lot of drama. And that's why sometimes when Nigerians forget a lot of things, I'm like, did they forget what was happening in this country to the extent that they even had to remove security from a sitting governor? That was during Jonathan. And sometimes now people forget all of those things. And all of these things basically because of this, had to do with Wike and where they supported he put him in. And today you see, how Wike had gone on to with the Jonathans, the kind of fallout that is going on. Not just Jonathan alone, even with Amechi. I mean, Amechi did a lot for Wike, only for Wike to now turn against. Wike has a history of turning against the people that have helped him in one way or the other. You also talk about people like the Odilis and all of that, and that whole fallout that has happened in that category. So there's a lot going on. You also see Peter Obi once upon a time where Wike, when he really didn't have, he will grovel for anyone. See him doing that to Peter Obi, and now of course Tinubu is the one that he's doing it to. The same weekend that's had a lot of things that he had to say with APC and all of that. Although he has not actually entered the APC, but he's actually working for an APC illegitimate government out there, administration and all of that. The one thing you would say for someone like Wike is the fact that he wants something. So the question that most people should ask is, who was Wike before 1999? Before 1999, what were you? Where were you? Although now he says his father is rich. Saw that interview that he did. His father is rich. All of a sudden, his wife is so rich. The family of the wife that they are buying houses, millions of dollars as gifts from their grand. This thing, I'm like, sometimes these people don't even rate our intelligence at all. It's as if they don't even have anything, they don't even rate us at all. But the question also comes to, who was Wike before 1999? You see his trajectory from local government chairman to, is it chief of staff now, to Amechi. I mean, he and Amechi are literally enemies. And then he came on to Minister of State. The first time I knew about him was Minister of state education, and how, so what's the word, crass he was. Like he always behaved, the way he was so loud, in the way that he behaved and all of that. He was the minister. There was one lady, I can't remember her name. I think she was from Jigawa State, one professor like that. He was the minister of state education, but he was so loud, he was so everywhere and stuff like that. And then from there he went on to become, governor. This is someone that literally for the last over 2.5 decades, have just been government, eating out of government. So it's almost as if he cannot do without being in government. And with the Wike, he will kneel down for anything and do anything just to be able to remain in power and be able to get that power that he needs, that that's almost like a drug that he must have for him to be able to survive, and survive very well. So that's what you see right now. But the thing is that the fallout between him and Tinubu will be so hilarious. It's going to happen, no doubt about it. Like this person said, to God, 1 more to go. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time, because this is someone who is so power drunk that he wants to be he wants to be the person that is out there. He wants to be the person that is seen, almost like what you saw between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. You know, that thing was sooner or later they was going to have that fight. So when you have two egotistical human beings now coming, because one is the one that has the power, the other one will try as much as possible to take, you know, as much of that power as they can. But hey, we are here with the popcorn. We are here waiting to see. We'll see what it is, and be sure if we see it, we will come and do a very amiable and get it all out here and put it in. So this is where we are. Let's see how far are they able to finish to the end of the administration without any quality. Yeah, I think they will be able to finish, because one thing with Wike is the fact that he knows which side his bread is being buttered, and as long as that side is still buttering his bread, he's going to maintain, he's going to be loyal for that period as long as it serves its purpose. It's probably when you are no longer in a position to butter his bread, you will now look for where the other butter is. Like my people will say, meaning that now where soup dey, now they carry plate go. So if soup no dey your side again, we go carry a plate. Not only go carry a plate, go another place. You papa, you will be say you be dey give a soup before, you go come fight, you go quarrel, you go do all sorts of things. But we dey here, sha, we dey watch am. Isn't all this politics? Sooner or later, Akwana attach, she sleep, and they will sleep, wake up. The days they increase more and more to go. Whether they like it or not, sooner or later, people must come out of power. And when people just hold on to this power, it really surprises me, because I'm like, haven't you seen other people? One of the persons that I see today, and whenever I see them, I'm like, oh my goodness. It's actually Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, IBB. That name. Hi! That name. I'm not even going to talk about Abacha, because that one is late now. But this one, at least we are seeing him, he's still alive. That name used to ring. You know, these are people that evoked authority. The way people used to talk about Babangida, they called him Maradona. Maradona is a footballer. Maradona is still considered one of the greatest footballers in the world, right? Maradona, you know, dribbling and everything. That's how they called it. As see that you can never know where he is. He will say this, he will do this, he will do that. And then today, I see them anytime they show IBB, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, he's on a wheelchair. He's old. He can't even do anything himself. These were the people that reigned in Nigeria and held Nigeria like this for how many years? But today, where are they? Just an old man in his wheelchair. And people still go and visit him and all of that. Where is that all? Where is that power? Where is the legacy? What will you be remembered for? For those who don't know, they say absolute power corrupts absolutely. And power is very transient. Today is here, tomorrow is not here. Thank you so much for watching.
For taking care of me.
I did. There was one day I came in one day. Yes. Good morning, Ayo. I miss you so much. I feel like I've seen you. Like I saw you the other. I saw you on the private jet. I saw you on the private. Even you. Good morning.
I did not go.
Where were you, Ayo?
And I thought, no, you went on the private jet too.
Well, all right.
Chicken and jollof rice. So I'm being old.
Yes. You know you deserve it.
Thank you.
You know, Queen Ayo.
Thank you very much.
Well, all right. Okay. Well, all right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're eating chicken.
Can we start the show? I saw him. He ate chicken. Both of you. You flew first class private jet. If there's anything like that. Well, all right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. Focusing on the ongoing political reactions to the recent wave of gubernatorial defections from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, while Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, has weighed in
specifically addressing defections from the Southeast region. Speaking to journalists in Abuja on Wednesday, Peter Obi firmly stated that the defection of governors does not translate to political control over the Southeast. The former Anambra State governor stressed that Nigeria operates a democracy, not a military regime, where states can be captured, emphasizing that political power ultimately rests with the people, not governors or senators. Let's take a look.
He must have taken his decision based on his own political views and calculations and everything. But as for, we're not in a military time when you capture people. You're a leader. You tend to do the right things for them to follow you. So I don't think anybody's capturing anywhere. The government needs to do more if they want the people to support them. I've always been consistent on Nnamdi Kanu's flight. There was no need for the arrest in the first place. And now that he has gone, because he's been to court, the rules should be followed. Not just for Nnamdi Kanu, for all agitators across the nation.
All right, Peter Obi has remained consistent also with the Nnamdi Kanu matter, because that's the last thing he said there. But you were there in Enugu State, and he specifically mentioned Peter Amba, saying that Peter Amba is his friend, and he might have defected for whatever reason he did. I'd like for you to share with us your experience specifically in Enugu with that media chat, and also the fact that Peter Obi is saying it is not governors nor senators, it is the people that will determine who will lead us. Your thoughts?
Right. Well, there's so much to take away, but let's begin with Peter Mba's defection and the media chat. And, he maintains that this has got nothing to do with being bullied or threatened by the ruling party, but it's got to do with failures within the PDP itself to honor the role and the position of the Southeast. And, of course, we know the history around that and that role of National Secretary and Ude Okoye and all that transpired. The ultimatum had been issued, and I guess they just had to make good on that threat that they had made, that the Southeast was not feeling honored and respected within the PDP. And now what's also important to note is, of course, the fact that if there's so much contention around the role of the National Secretary, OG, what's the guarantee that whoever is installed as National Secretary after the convention is going to be somebody who's going to allow all of these candidates, all of these people to be able to sign off on their nominations and their candidacy? It all hangs in the balance. So it seems like it was a strategic move to escape, any type of, shall I call it, controversy or potential sabotage that might happen within the PDP. The other question is, well, why APC? Why not APGA, for example? Those are some of the questions that remained a little bit unanswered in the media chat, because he seemed to prefer to focus on governance. And I don't blame him for doing that, because to the point being made by Peter Obi, if we look at the last election, the Southeast was obedient. No, there was no Labour Party governor, but the Southeast was largely obedient. So I think it goes to show you that in 2027, is there a guarantee that the Southeast will vote for Tinubu? I don't know. That hangs in the balance, because the Southeast have shown us in 2023 that they vote for who they want and who they choose to, no matter who their governor is, no matter what the structures in their states say. Right. So I think that it is valid. Peter Obi, somebody who benefited from what he's talking about. So yes. I think he's the right person who can actually speak on this, yes, because he was a beneficiary of it. Okay. And now I think the attention should turn to our electoral reforms so that people's votes can truly count.
People's votes must count at this time around. Let's now turn our attention to a controversial development. As a former mayor of Blanco, Texas, Mike Arnold has accused former presidential aide Reno Omokri of being a pathological, habitual, calculating, self-serving liar, alleging that he was deceived and manipulated by Omokri during their personal and professional encounters. The allegations have sparked significant attention on social media platforms. Well, Arnold made the allegation in a lengthy post on X, recounting his experience with Omokri in Kenya, Texas, and Nigeria. The accusations include claims about fabricated luxury car ownership, unfulfilled promises of high-level meetings, and misrepresentation of Arnold's identity during media appearances. Among the specific allegations, Arnold claimed a mockery promised meetings with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, and the Sultan of Sokoto during a recent trip to Nigeria, but none materialized. He also alleged on live television a mockery falsely called him the current mayor of Blanco, Texas, and claimed he's a personal friend of Ted Cruz, both of which Arnold denies. Most seriously, Arnold accused of mockery of downplaying violence against Christians in Nigeria. Let's take a look.
I am going to quote, not a journalist, but an authority apparently. How to identify a hypocrite? Their voice is so loud, condemning injustice against Muslims in USA, yet very silent in condemning genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And that person that said that a couple years ago was Reno Omokri, and he's multiple quotes, tweets like that. He made this a very big issue about Christian genocide in Nigeria not that long ago. And according to all the observers and all the organizations and watchdogs, they say it has not improved, that the death toll is higher. So I don't know what's dramatically changed, that he was adamantly, repeatedly calling it a Christian genocide in Nigeria. The only thing I know that's changed is the administration and his employer. So.
Wow, this story has gone viral. I mean, Reno Omokri went on to say that, he doesn't have an employer, but I'll take some reactions on X. This is from Mayor of Crypto, who wrote, "You never had any problems with Reno till he spoke the truth that there is no genocide against Christians in Nigeria. This is the problem with over religious folks. You are tearing another man down just because he disagrees with you." Well, Murphy wrote, "I took my time to read your message," that is to Arnold, "from top to bottom, and honestly, you are spot on. Reno has proven time and again to be the perfect example of a two-faced individual. One minute he's preaching morals, the next he's defending the indefensible. He talks from every side of his mouth, bending his narrative to whatever benefits him at the moment. You simply can't take him seriously. He stands for nothing unless it feeds his ego or political bias." Well, Reno Omokri was on our nightly news program, Newsnight, where he described Arnold as the current mayor of Blanco, Texas, and dismissed claims of a Christian genocide in Nigeria as ludicrous, while acknowledging that killings are occurring across both Christian and Muslim communities. Let's take a look before we come back to discuss.
I was able to get Mayor Mike Arnold, a Republican elected mayor from the state of Texas, who is personally friends with Senator Ted Cruz and Gregory Abbott, and also an associate with President Trump. And I invited him over to Nigeria for fact-finding. Not just him, I invited also a filmmaker. I wanted them to see for themselves. So I invited these two gentlemen here, and before they came, they briefed Senator Ted Cruz and Congressman Chip Roy, and they're here. This whole idea of a Christian genocide in Nigeria is ludicrous. Yes, there are killings of Christians in Nigeria, and anybody who denies that will be, frankly, a dishonest person. But then, there are also killings going on in the Muslim arena. I mean, I hate to say this, but only recently we had killings at a mosque in Katsina. We had killings at another mosque in Zamfara. And if you have these terrorists go to a state like Benue and they hit people there, obviously most of the victims will be Christians. Why? Because Benue is a Christian-dominated state. If they hit in Zamfara, most of the victims will be Muslims. So there's no Christian genocide, and to prove it, I've invited this gentleman for fact-finding.
Right.
All right. I mean, Reno Omokri there is also stressing the claims of the federal government, saying that, there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. These terrorists attack Muslims, and mosques have been burnt as well as churches. Muslims have been killed. And he also had, the imam there as well. But your thoughts on all of the conversations so far, especially on social media and from the current mayor of.
No, it's not the current
I know he's not. Of course, I'm making a
It's not
joke.
the current mayor.
I'm from the current mayor of Blanco, as Reno Omokri has alleged. This guy has come to say, listen, this man is talking with two sides of his mouth. He even posted videos, pictures, and a picture of Reno Omokri saying that, I think he visited him sometime in Texas, and then he posted his Rolls Royce or something like that. Your thoughts?
That was his.
Ruby on fire.
That was his friend's vintage car
Yes,
that he claimed
a
he
vintage
posted.
car. We had that picture.
Every water, he prepares a table before me. Okay, moving on. See, as regards this conversation of genocide, I've always been of the view, and this is my view, that across religious lines, across Nigerians generally, people are being killed. All right? And the fact that people are being killed is even a sad indictment on Nigeria as a country. So rather than us trying to go and lobby, we should be crying in shame that Nigerians are being slaughtered. Christians, Muslims. In Christian communities, yes, there's been heavy killings. You remember what happened in the community in Jos around last Christmas? Yeah. Heavy killings. Second point, you called somebody for a fact-finding mission. The person gave a report of a fact-finding mission. Why are we disagreeing? A day before, in the television, you said that these people were brought in for a fact-finding mission. They have given their report. Why are we disagreeing? If Mayor Blanco said, based on his fact-finding, he's written a report that he saw Christian genocide over the years, that's the report of the committee that you set up for fact-finding mission. I don't know when we started doing fact-finding mission in Nigeria for something that is happening in America, or is it because we want to go and send the likes of Mayor Blanco that he says is friend to Ted Cruz? I'm not sure it's that close to Ted Cruz. I'm not sure it's that close to associate of Trump. So why are we disagreeing with the fact-finding mission? That's the part I don't even understand here. And you see these attempts to play politics with the blood of human beings. Let's be careful. Human blood, and that's why I was quick to speak yesterday about the pardon. Human blood is not what we can play propaganda with. Please, when we are doing propaganda, when lives are involved, please, let's just move away from propaganda about human blood. Because the blood will ask questions. And we should be very careful. So I don't see anything Mayor Arnold has done by exposing the report of his fact-finding mission. You brought him in to do fact-finding. He said he has evidence. He has released all the evidence. And this has even complicated Nigerian government matter. So if these people were brought in by those close to the government, this is an own goal. Just like one of my friends will say, "Oh, take penalty, Lord, throwing again. Own goal.
All right.
So please, with due respect,
Yes.
what we should now do is to focus on the killings that is going on
This is the point.
and how we can bring resolution.
point.
And people should stop all of this propaganda. If they want to go and meet with their American authorities and plead their own case, they should go ahead and do it. But all of this shenanigans on our national TV, see, for the second part that a lot of people want me to talk about as regards they lie to me, they don't lie to me.
Okay, the argument between both of them.
When Mayor Arnold and Reno Omokri were enjoying themselves
Yes.
and visiting each other's homes and hosting each
I'm
other,
going to Kenya and all this.
I was not there.
Yes.
When they were inviting each other for birthday, I was not there. Their matter, it doesn't concern me.
Right.
It's because things are not good amongst them. That's why we are hearing the truth. Agunla Agutete.
Yeah.
When it's not that when the mayor came into Nigeria and they invited him, he called me to tell me that I'm here. Oh. That's their personal matter.
All right.
The matter that concerns me, oh,
Yes.
it's a national matter. Don't do propaganda on the bloods of people.
This is it.
Let's say it the way it is.
Yes. But Reno Omokri has said that he doesn't have an employer as well. All right. A quick comment because I wanted
A quick comment because let me go where Rufai doesn't want to go to.
Yeah, okay.
And I say that because it's important we call out things like this. What Mike Arnold has done by revealing some of the lies that have been told by Reno Mokwe, according to him, over the years with pictures, is that he has also revealed. And also, when that happens, is that it discredits the person, especially what you stand for and what you say. I say this because Reno Momokwe is known to be very vocal about matters in Nigeria, about personalities in Nigeria. He has been accused, silently in different quarters as being, oh, okay, you play for this side. Many people, when it comes to politics, can change the direction of their view. But when you come with concrete, it doesn't speak very well of the integrity of a man who, in many cases, wants to speak up for issues that are pertinent to Nigerians. And I think it's important to highlight that fact. When your words or your actions have been discredited in such a bold and public manner, it means that in the future, people cannot take your words seriously. It means that when you speak up, and that's why we talk about people who are supporting this administration and government and saying many things, it means that the next time he posts an X that goes viral, you take it with a pinch of salt. It means that sometimes when because your antecedents can qualify what or how we believe what you say in the future. Right. And this is it's hurting because he's also been a big advocate of discrediting the words of the US saying that Nigeria Christian genocide is happening. So what does it mean? It means we want to take a closer look actually and think, if you've been lying about a lot of things in the past, why should we take you seriously and why should we believe what you're saying now? And I think he owes an apology to many of his followers that he deceived in the cause of misrepresenting himself with Mr. Mike Arnold. This is what happens when you're not playing with just Nigerians. If you're doing international propaganda, you have to be very careful. Because when it's time, they will bring receipts and they'll discredit everything that you have done that is not correct.
Are you on fire? Well, all right. We're now turning to concerns raised by a member of the public regarding the quality of materials being used for a federal road construction project on the Ore-Akure Road. The individual has called for immediate attention to what he described as substandard materials allegedly compromising the project's integrity and durability. In a video that has now gone viral, the individual claims that after the project began with the proper steel reinforcement, builders improperly switched to a lightweight wire guard, which he estimated to be less than 10 millimeters thick, for a stretch of over 1 kilometer in the middle of the roadway. Let's take a look.
Attention, look at the road they are doing Ore to Ondo. They are supposed to put steel, they are putting wire guard. We have called your attention to it. Look at it. Wire guard for almost more than 1 kilometer. See, they put steel in the beginning. At the middle of it, they use wire guard. This wire guard is less than 10 mm. Look at it on a federal road. Well, we have done our own social responsibility. Thank you.
Well, in response, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, clarified the design specifications, defending the use of different materials for various sections of the road project. Well, according to the minister, the main carriageway is constructed with rods and concrete, while the road shoulders uses concrete with BRC, which are rods of smaller sizes. The minister emphasized that this is an intentional design choice, not a compromise on quality. The minister explained that different roads require different designs with corresponding costs and assured the public that this particular design specification is engineered to last between 50 to 100 years. I mean, I think this minister's response underscores, the importance of understanding engineering specifications before, raising alarm. We've seen these sort of videos online about construction, standards. While he's also demonstrating the government responsiveness to the public concerns about infrastructure projects. I love this sort of response, and he responded right away. Meanwhile, Minister David Umahi and the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, who were recently engaged in a public disagreement over the cost per kilometer of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, met and exchanged pleasantries on Wednesday at the 90th birthday Thanksgiving service of Chief Victoria Olaitan Abiodun, mother of Ogun State Governor Prince Dakpo Abiodun, held at St. James Anglican Church, Ikperu Remo. The high-profile event brought together numerous dignitaries to celebrate the non-Nigerians' milestone. Let's take a look.
A lot of people argue that concrete or cement roads are not the be-all for road construction. In fact, there are people that have also argued that they have, opposing views. In fact, let me read one of the views. Somebody has always, I think Comrade Igbini Emmanuel, have also said, this thing about concrete roads that we're normally talking about is not the be-all and see-all of construction, that you can do normal roads that are properly maintained and still have very good road outlay. That's just it. So,
all right.
This fact that one person is the doyen of engineering and they know it all and their arguments are the best and everything. If you call 10 engineers here, they'll have conflicting views and all of that. So that's all we just want is accountability. Give us the data. And as regards Sheikh, I didn't think I don't think there was any unparcels. Somebody said, oh, this is my own cost per kilometer.
Right.
And then the other person replied and said, okay, this is my own cost per kilometer.
Said you're not a real
and they said you're not a real engineer and all of that.
No, it says electrician.
I
didn't know what elect was.
And they say elect. And the person that claimed he was senior, when they went to check current certification, they saw that the story was different in current certification. So let's not.
All right, like I always say, don't die in their war. There was a lot of Twitter responses to that sort of exchange with David Umahi and Sheyi Makinde, and now we see them exchanging pleasantries. It's good to hear from the Minister of Works defending his project, saying that there's different sort of specification for road construction and people shouldn't just jump into conclusion. He has brought out the results, and so it's good to see that that sort of response is coming. Again, congratulations to Governor Dakpo Abiodun's mother on the occasion of her 90th birthday. Happy birthday, ma'am. We were invited. I didn't show up. I think, all right, I couldn't. I was here with you.
Okay.
You were invited. You weren't.
I didn't get the invite me again.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sure you were invited.
Invite me? No, I'm sorry. I'm somebody I honor invitations. I try to honor invitations as much as I can.
I'm sorry.
Because they saw it was a weekday, you be at work.
Yes. So that's an
that I was invited. No.
Well, all right. Again, happy birthday to Governor Dakpo Abiodun's mother. Let's take some cherry news now. We have an update regarding the health status of Finance Minister Wale Edun, following recent speculation surrounding his absence from the World Bank and IMF meetings in Washington, D.C. A new video has emerged. The footage captures Minister Edun at the Oda Art Gallery booth during the 154 Contemporary African Art Fair in London. Presidential spokesman Bayo Ononuga confirmed that the minister is in the United Kingdom for an officially sanctioned few days of rest from the rigors of managing the Nigerian economy. Well, in the video, the minister was seen addressing guests at the gallery. Let's take a look.
The world needs masters.
African art fair here. So the art fair starts tomorrow. We are one of the booths showing from Nigeria. There's actually 5 booths from Nigeria showing. We have Soto, who you know, Buddha at 1897. This has been going on for.
But you can see that there's something there that's unique, that's really expressive, and we can look from Nigeria for sure.
And very contemporary, very good.
Honestly.
So thank you, sir, for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the preview.
I appreciate the opportunity, and as always, we're ready to support privately, publicly, whichever way we can.
It's good to see the minister. I know that this exhibition runs between, I believe, the 16th to the 19th, and it features a lot of Nigerian artists as well. I mean, it's good to see that the minister is up, well and doing. That rumor has been debunked because we have seen him out here. Well, all right. A quick comment before we take our Good News Report.
Well, let me just say something, and that is because we're having this conversation earlier on around accountability. Because when it comes to accountability from public office holders, this is part of it, their health status. We are very happy. The truth is, Nigerians actually are very largely good people. They want the good of others. But what we're asking for is just transparency. Yes, he's not able to attend the annual meetings in Washington, D.C., which traditionally he would have attended. And that would definitely raise questions. But I think beautiful to see that he is up and about, because there were rumors around the fact that he had suffered a stroke. That was one of the things that was going around. So to see him walking unaided, to see him enjoying art is important. And I think very important is also to give kudos to people or public office holders who actually present themselves accountable. And that takes me back to the previous story with David Umahi. I'm not going to analyze about the quality of materials used, but the fact that consistently, love him or hate him, consistently, he has been quite responsive. I say this because there are other ministers in key positions that we don't hear anything about them. They decline media interviews. They don't release press statements. They don't talk to people. Then there's news reports about them. We haven't heard anything from them. Would like to hear more from, say, the Minister of Agriculture, for instance. He plays a critical role, and not just press statements or releases, but actual responses to concerns by Nigerians. There are other ministries like that are very quiet. So please, we applaud and celebrate those who actually make an effort to make themselves accountable to the Nigerian people. And we ask Minister Wale Edun, take the presidency's advice. Please rest, sir. We need you back to revitalize the economy of Nigeria.
Well said, Ayo. Very, very well said. Thanks for your submission. We'll take our Good News Report now. Celebrating a major milestone in Delta State as Governor Sheriff Obowori formally launched the Delta State Security Trust Fund on Wednesday, securing massive pledges, including a 10 billion naira donation from Tantita Security Services Limited. The event reaffirms the administration's commitment to building a safer, stronger, and more prosperous state through public-private partnership in security management. Well, the ceremony held at the banquet hall, Government House Asaba, brought together captains of industries, security chiefs, and community leaders with Access Holdings chairman Aiboje Ike Imokwede, chairing the occasion, and Zenith Bank founder Jim Ovia serving as special guest of honor. Governor Obowori explained that the Security Trust Fund, established by law in 2013, is designed as a collaborative platform for mobilizing resources from the private sector to complement government investment in security. The fund will focus on acquiring modern surveillance equipment, operational vehicles, and communication tools, as well as supporting training of security personnel and community vigilante groups across the state's 25 local government areas. The governor emphasized that security is not the sole responsibility of government. It is everyone's business.
The primary function of the Delta State Security Trust Fund is to raise funds to complement the efforts of government by seeking collaboration with the private sector to support security interventions.
Delta State, no, they carry last. Okay, look at you are claiming Delta today. You are claiming Delta today. Up Delta, hey. We know they carry last. Yes, you are, my breath. Okay. So, goodbye, don't worry, we'll marry you. I will marry you very soon. We'll marry you, don't worry. You know what you are talking about now? We're all done. Okay. If you men are allowed to marry plenty wives, we too, we can't. Okay, let me not change the table. Let me not change the table. What would I say? Congratulations to the governor of Delta State, the chairman of the occasion. Imokwede donated 100 million naira personally and expressed optimism that the initiative will mobilize up to 100 billion in 2025. This groundbreaking initiative demonstrates how government can successfully partner with the private sector to address critical security challenges. This is such great news. They are just modeled right after Lagos, because we have taken Lagos, and we've also seen this in Kaduna State. We've also seen it, I believe, in Osun State as well. And, we want to encourage more states to, emulate this model, because it is so important to collaborate in that way. The government cannot do everything, please. Well, all right.
Government.
Yes, they actually did that. Well done.
I celebrate the industrialists who gave. I think, and it's so good to see Delta producing great sons.
Great sons. Jimovia. I is from Edo State. He's from Edo State.
He's a friend, but there was one state.
That's Bendel. Bendel. What will we say? We'll say perfect.
Yeah, mentioned industrialism. What about Tumpolo?
Well, all right. Well, what would I say? I'll say thank you to the chairman, Ige Imokwede, who donated 100 million. We need more. We need more donation. Congratulations to the governor of Delta State, Sheriff Obuwori, on this feat. We'll take our final story now in entertainment. As the world mourns multiple Grammy Awards.
Justice and justice. To the point that a judge is going to mosque or is going to church, he cannot be somebody he knows. He runs away. That if I shake him now, they will say, I collected and somebody will write a petition that a judge, you saw a judge shaking somebody. And you will sit down to even listen to that kind of petition. Bribery is given in the mosque. Bribery is given in the church. I have never seen this in my life. On Saturday, I went to the University of Calabar. Unknown to me, I just entered, not knowing that one of the Judges of Supreme Court is one of those to be honored. The Senate President Wike was sitting, so I sat down. I thought like this. I said, Judge of Supreme Court. Then I was going to say, this is alma mater, and he's been honored. I was also honored. The next thing I saw, the paper, that the justice escorted me to Calabar. And somebody will sit down to read. You will see what so-called Professor Odekada had writing. And you will say, oh, nobody has written petition. You don't need to wait for anybody to write. Well, once you sit down, you should be able to say, invite him, did you write this kind of thing? You don't know, so nobody wrote petition. No, it's not acceptable. You haven't read it. Okay. Can you please invite him? Did you write this? Yes or no? You wrote this. If you don't discipline somebody, nobody will learn a lesson. We cannot continue to allow our profession to be brought down. We cannot continue to do that. I cannot believe, as lawyers, you make a contribution to help. When I was governor, Body of Ventures invited all of us who are governors, who are lawyers. How do we support to build the ventures? Formal invitation, every governor who is a lawyer. Then I was there. Governor Sokoto Tambo was there. Plateau Governor was there. Governor Bayelsa was there. Diri. And Bauchi, what was his name? Mohammed. Abakabone. Yes. And I couldn't late. What do you do to support? What is bad in that? That your own profession invites you, by virtue of your position you belong to say, look, how do you help? Those who invited those who are National Assembly. How do you help us in budgeting to see that we get resources to complete this project. So, I was the only one who contributed, not my money. It's state government. It's state government. When NBA was building their national secretariat, NBA wrote, nobody saw that as bribe. NBA wrote, I was the only one who contributed to the NBA to build the national secretariat. And I said, name a floor after Rivers, not me. NBA didn't see it as bribe. But when you contribute to judiciary, it's bribe. But when you contribute to NBA, it's not bribe, they will take it. The same NBA will rely on state government to sponsor them for whatever activities. That one is not bribe. That one is not bribe. NBA today is talking about state of emergency Rivers. Why? Because the state government promised them to host the annual general conference. Now there's no government to give the money. Now they have not said, oh, we don't support the emergency. Because there's no money to give the NBA for the conference. Oh, we won't go to Rivers. But under the military, NBA carries the activities. But instead of emergency, you will not carry the activity because nobody is going to bring the money that they promised them. What kind of hypocrisy is this? You go and beg money, state government. Is that what it's supposed to be? But when state government supports judiciary, it's bribery. It's bribery. But when state government supports NBA, it's not bribery. We have now classified which is bribe. As a minister of state education, I will not apologize. I built the faculty of law in University of Padagot. That's my matter. That's where I had my first degree. And there was no faculty of law. When I became a minister of law, I said, no, how can you have a conventional university without faculty of law? I owe it a duty. That look, this was the school that brought me, that gave me everything. Why would I not contribute? Today I feel proud that they have a faculty of law, and that's the best faculty. I feel proud. When I was governor, it's not that I've left. Look at the Court of Appeal there. We have so much.
Trying to locate Wike's Florida mansion using Google Street View. According to West Africa Weekly that conducted this investigative report, Wike's mansion is located at number 113 Spring Creek Lane. This seems like a gated estate. As you can see here, there's a road here. There's another one here. But this is just a close. It seems the middle one is the only entrance. Let's get closer. Turn around. This is Tucson Drive. Then turn around. Yeah, it's a gated estate as you can see. Maybe we don't have access inside. Although they published a picture of the mansion on their website, you can go there and read the whole story. But this is just hypocritical and shows how corrupt these men are. They look Nigerians in the face. This is Wike that conducts weekly press conferences. He will be standing there preaching to Nigerians to have patience, that things will materialize in the nearest future. But here he is, buying mansions abroad in the name of his family members. And his wife, being a judge, makes her a public servant. She's not allowed to own a foreign mansion. And also, according to the report, she is a card-carrying member of the US Democratic Party, which is another violation of the codes for public servants. According to West Africa Weekly, Wike, the FCT minister, bought this $2 million Florida mansion in March this year. That means he bought it while still a minister. This is against the law. Of course, no one should be expecting anything, no consequence for him because he belongs to APC. Anyone that belongs to APC, the EFCC or other security agencies never charge them for any crime, even if the evidence is there for everyone to see. In fact, this is the major reason opposition members are decamping to APC, because they know if they don't belong to APC, the EFCC will look their way and charge them to court. One example is Ifeanyi Okowa, the former governor of Delta State, who was accused of misappropriating or stealing more than 1 trillion naira. So Wike will stand on the podium in many churches